let's get to some news from across the state of Texas. We will start with something that broke a little after Christmas, and that is that we named the 2024 Mr. Texas Football Player of the Year, the most prestigious honor in Texas high school football. It is, of course, it's the Heisman Trophy of Texas high school football, handed out by Dave Campbell's Texas Football. You may remember last year, the winner of the award was DJ Lagway, who went on to do great things at the University of Florida. The year before that, the winner of the award was Terry Bussey, who is doing great things at Texas A&M. Previous award winners include Kyler Murray, Johnny Manziel, Jonathan Brooks, Marvin Mims, who had a big game this past week for the Broncos. It's a who's who of Texas high school football stars. But in 2024, after deliberating with the staff, we came to the decision that the 2024 Mr. Texas Football Player of the Year is Adam Schobel, the quarterback from Columbus, who, of course, led the Cardinals to their first ever state championship game appearance and state championship win. I don't mind telling you guys this. So we had the 10 finalists. Mm-hmm. And going into the state championship games, I think all of us had a list of about 4 or 5 that we had kind of narrowed it down to mentally.
Yep.
And then we were like, okay, and a couple of them were playing in the state championship games.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, let's see what happens. I think all of us came out of that 3A Division I state championship game where Columbus really demolished Malakoff. And I think the conversation we had in the booth there at AT&T Stadium was like, that's him. That's Mr. Texas Football.
He played outstanding in every single phase.
He was surgical. And he was all year, by the way. The TCU signee was absolutely spectacular all year long for the Cardinals. Of course, the coach's kid did unbelievable things for them and led them to a state championship. But his impact is far beyond that. I mean, the numbers are obviously like impressive. Like he completed nearly 75% of his passes for 3,734 yards and 55 touchdowns. Okay.
Insane.
He threw just 3 interceptions all year. 3 interceptions all year. And I want you to think about his usage rate and how much they needed him. 3 interceptions all year was remarkable. He also ran for 575 yards and 13 touchdowns on the ground. So a grand total of more than 4,300 yards and 68 touchdowns to lead Columbus to their first ever state championship. He signed with the TCU Horned Frogs, where his father and head coach Matt Schobel, of course, played before he went on to a decorated NFL career. And yeah, the 4-star prospect. And he got honored at the Kinder's Texas Bowl. Got handed the big trophy. Mm-hmm. If you haven't seen the photo, if you've never seen the trophy,
it's massive.
So it's an enormous trophy, but then like the top comes off. So like you just get to hold the top, but then you put the top back on the trophy, and it's when I tell you it's like, you don't know how tall the desk is. But I'm just telling you, I'm 6 feet tall, and it comes up to about like my shoulders. It's enormous. But anyway, congratulations to Matt Schobel, the 2024 Mr. Texas Football. I'm sorry, Adam Schobel, the 2024 Mr. Texas Football. I called Coach Schobel to let him know, and he was so fired up. He was really, really fired up. And then I called Adam, and he was somehow even more fired up about it. And so, and those are guys who are pretty low key. So to get them fired up, something went right. So. Congratulations to Adam Schobel, the 2024 Mr. Texas Football Player of the Year. We do have to report some sad news out of Wichita Falls, and that is that Heath Aldrich has passed away. Heath Aldrich was the athletic director and head football coach at Wichita Falls City View. He died at the age of 40. He had been battling pancreatic cancer for about a year, had been pretty open about it, but continued his job doing it, but passed away back on December 26th. Passed away in the early morning hours. He leaves behind his wife Michael, his daughter Blake, and his son Harlan. He began his coaching career in 2019. That's his alma mater. He graduated in 2003 from there. And he was also he was the head football coach for the past 2 years. He led them to 16 wins and 2 playoff victories. He also served as the head girls basketball coach there for 5 seasons. I know that he had been very open about his struggles with his health. Mm-hmm. I want to invite you to go check out. I want to make sure I get this right. but it is it's Zach Duncan. If you remember Zach Duncan, he used to write for the Wichita Falls paper over there. He now has his own Substack. It's called the Red River Roundup. I subscribe to it. It's excellent. He has a great piece up where he talked with folks around Wichita Falls about their memories of Coach Aldrich. It's really, really good. Go check out the Red River Roundup, Zach Duncan's Red River Roundup Substack for great coverage of that. But Heath Aldrich passed away at the age of 40. Very sad news there. We're certainly thinking about not only the Aldrich family, but the entire City View community up there. There's no really good way to transition out of that, so we'll just kind of have a hard divide here. It is now that football season in high school football rather is over. We are now into coaching change season. Coaching change season is here, and we're going to be keeping you updated on TexasFootball.com as far as all of the major openings around the Texas high school football world. Actually, all the openings, not just the major ones. But there are two I want to draw your attention to. One of them is at Temple in Central Texas, where Scott Stewart has stepped down as the head coach there at Temple. He has been the head coach there for 9 years. He has stepped down. That is a major job there in Central Texas. That is a one-school town. That is going to be a job with a lot of applicants. That is a football-crazy part of the state. That is a football-crazy community with high expectations and great pedigree and great talent. And I would expect there to be some high-profile applicants for that job in Temple. That is in many ways, as far as the big school jobs are concerned in Central Texas, that might be the crown jewel job in Central Texas. So keep an eye on that. Temple is open. That's one thing to keep an eye on. The other one that I want to draw your attention to is Lufkin. Go out to East Texas, or really the Piney Woods, as Todd Quick has announced his retirement after 30 years at Lufkin, including the last 13 years there as the head coach. He took over for the late John Outlaw there at Lufkin, did a fantastic job taking over that program, which again is a football crazy part of the state. That's the professional team in Lufkin. In that part of the world is the Lufkin Panthers. That is going to be a very highly sought after job out there in the Piney Woods. Keep an eye on that. That's just the start of kind of the swell. My anticipation is that now that really a lot of schools are going to get back in session tomorrow. A lot of schools have today off and they're getting back in school tomorrow, in session tomorrow. I would expect this week and next week there to kind of start a flurry of movement as far as Texas high school football coaching changes are concerned. Usually the over-under, about 200 changes. So we will have them all tracked for you at TexasFootball.com. So make sure you keep an eye on that one. And finally, I want to draw your attention. We're going kind of back up to the kind of Wichita Falls area. I want to draw your attention to Electra. Okay, a little drama going on in Electra, and that is that their job has come open as well. Josh McKitty has announced his intention to resign as head coach and athletic director there, and he was pretty open and honest about why. He told it was Jonathan Hull at the Times Record News, quote, "Honestly, I have a lack of confidence in our school board to make decisions that make kids the priority. I don't care to have my family involved with this school district because of that, so we will move on down the road," end quote. That's a spicy meatball from a head football coach.
Yeah.
Now, we come across this every once in a while as far as like big-time drama in Texas high school football with like school boards. This apparently stems from the idea of the superintendent there, Don Hasley. He was the school board held a special meeting to they said they will evaluate him. He could be relieved of his duties at that meeting. And essentially, I believe that McKitty was hired by Hasley, and he's showing loyalty to him. He's saying, "That's my guy." He goes on and says, "Hasley has done a tremendous job for the school district. What's going on now athletically and academically with our success in UI academics, it's night and day since he's become superintendent. It's a shame it's come to this." So now that has trickled down in the football world as Electra has come open, as Josh McKinney has announced his intention to resign there at Electra because of the goings-on and the drama there with the school board. We do get this about 3 or 4 times a year with school board drama. I mean, look, Electra's a small town, right? This is a small town. There's small town drama. You're from a small town.
Yeah, and it's you can't escape it.
I mean,
it's not just with kids.
Yeah. He took over the program in 2023. He's gone 11-9 since that. They went to the playoffs for the first time since 2019. He's done a great job, I think, with his Electra program. This is a program that's kind of down in the dumps. He took him to the program took him to the playoffs for the first time in 5 years this past year. But now he is going to resign, and Electra will be on the search for a new head football coach because of drama going on in the community there in Electra. So another. As the Texas high school football world turns, we're back, baby. The Texas high school football offseason is very much here. There's some news. We are Texas Football Today. We're here Mondays and Thursdays on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com.